I bungunya nebi di debate yedu bedwe wa yehu. Aura for aura, aura for aura, aura for aura, aura for aura. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another wonderful episode of the Gong Gong. My name is Fedo Rich, and I am your Gong Gong Bita for today. You see, today happens to be the final funeral rite of the late Queen Mother of the Ashanti Kingdom, who also happens to be the biological sister of Otumfuo Osei Tutu, the monarch of the Ashanti Kingdom. And in funny be do honmwa, they say go home. Some of the chiefs, some of the kings were sacked. I'll tell you about it. And you can see the Abrafu in action, the chief executioners, the executioners of the land. Today, Omania Bre, like things that are happening there, bro. And so when you come and observe culture, come and observe culture. Asante Yomayo. See, you see, somewhere on the 12th, after her passing away, on the 12th of September, the chief linguist and the funeral planning committee of the Ashanti Kingdom, they made an announcement. They brought a public notice. And then in the notice, they told the people, the residents of the Ashanti Kingdom, specifically Kumasi, they were to observe a curfew from somewhere around 7 p.m. to somewhere in the morning, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., then you can go about your activities. Yeah, that was in preparation towards the final burial rite of the Queen Mother. But some people were trying to prove stubborn. So earlier, we saw in the news that some of the chief executioners and staff were on them. They had to go and then put them into order. They were sacking them only for them to observe the final funeral rite. Then, just yesterday, another warning from the chief executioner came on the internet. He said, if you be man, today, 7 p.m., Opa Amenda.
No size. Listen, young wonder. What's that? Listen, young wonder, I'm a part. What's that? He ever been out here. What trust us and two bra? Yeah. No, so what you do? No, just and you do. Yeah. You're out here. Yeah, can you go? Then you are announcement. Just say young wonder. Nobody lets us. That's how you
Asante Yomayo, a whole country, a country within a country, bro. And one thing I like about them is that these people observe their culture, like they respect their culture. If you saw what was happening this morning, you know that the people respect their king. Bro, baby, I ding. The people observed it.
Hansini blue light. Akatafoni na ma kwahye dem.
Kumasi mountain so baby ada ho say hwe. Baby apeso ko bia obetimi akọ. Ya to store bia mu. Na ade ba akon so no say, omanfo suru.
So you see how the town is very quiet. Everyone is observing it. Now the public notice was to take effect especially on the 18th. So on the 18th, the people were made aware that banks, schools, offices, and some other, institutions were to come to a closure and then observe the funeral rite. After, we may proceed. And the question that I kept asking myself was, why couldn't they shift it to somewhere Saturday, Sunday? Then I was informed that, in the Akan traditional days, the naming of the days, Kwesiada, Ebenada, Memenda, and all those stuff, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now, on Thursday, they call it Yawada. Yawada. And the right pronunciation was Yauda. Yauda, day of agony, mourning, sorrow. Yes, so that was typically how it was framed. And in the olden days, that was the day that they used to observe funeral rites. But because of the formal education and all those stuffs, they had to halt it. And so they are only going to do that. They are only going to observe the Thursday funeral rite only for their dignitaries, only for the royals. So if should a royal of the Ashanti Kingdom they will observe it on that Thursday. So I think for that one, I'm getting okay with them. Now the funny aspect of the whole thing is that dignitaries upon dignitaries were trooping in just yesterday. They went there to send their condolence and all those stuff. And one king was rejected. The king of the Igbo kingdom, the king of the Igbo people was rejected. Just when he got there, they allowed him to walk through. The people that were around, at least they gave him the chance. Because the people there saw him to be a king, so they were giving him all the respect that was needed. So they accorded him all that respect. But when he got to the Ochiami, the head protocol prefect of the Ashanti Kingdom, when he got there, he said, Massa, you channel. So he had to take off the hat. After taking it off, he said, you have to bow. The Igbo did it. He bowed. You have to bow to another king. A king bowed to a king. Bro. So he bowed. And after bowing, he wanted to go and greet Otumfo. Then the Ochiami was like, what do you want? My friend, pass here.
Igbo for king, and so in the dom, a draw, and you be Samania. Now we are here for us, Igbo king. And a Chiame say, and ye decline you which oh, ye king out there you which answer, Nameno Wakasa. And to a in the chariano, and was a bomwasi, or say no chance and was send you Roman for a siano. Ye be. And a or ye be, or we are not enough. Mamma got your tomb was a henny. Udini Ghana bookmu, Udi our TikTok, so ye Igbo king, Udini Ghana bookmu. Ebusia was a fan chair on the cop.
So typically, he doesn't have the right to go and greet the Otumfo. Not anyone has got the right to go and greet their king. Hey, Charlie, Ashanti's for you. Ashanti Kingdom, they are on my own, on their own, governed by their own rules and regulations with their own constitution. Nobody comes close. Now, we have also seen other dignitaries today also going to, send their condolence and also observe the final burial rites of the late Queen Mother. We have seen the likes of President John Dramani Mahama, the first gentleman of the state, the former president of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We have also seen the former vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, also in attendance. The king of the Ogwa in the central region, he has also been there. Cheddar was also in attendance. Wuntumi and the NPP executives were also in attendance. Then we saw the people from Volta region. They came to do their magic. Voodoo. to shake the environment, you know. And then we have also seen the people from Mali. Yeah, the rulers of the Mali kingdom. They also came to, you know, observe the final funeral rite and also send their condolence to the king. But the first time in history, another hilarious thing that I also observed there was me who I'll be no I come about the soda. Ofri has been possessed by the spirit, and people were observing. When will be that in your lifetime? I don't think you've ever seen one before. If you get to the Ashanti Kingdom, you see it. Yeah, so I think the people of the Ashanti Kingdom are really doing well, and then they are actually observing their culture. You know, they carry their king. The king was in the palanquin. You know, Charlie, even in the rain, umbrellas is going so. Even in the rain, umbrellas is going so. And you can see Otumfuo giving aura. Charlie, there might be somewhere aura upon aura, aura upon aura. No king in Ghana comes close to Otumfuo. I'm not from that tribe, but I tell you, their culture, they almost see the form. Charlie, this one should come on Netflix. Let people see the culture of the Ashanti Kingdom. Bro, it's actually nice. Like, the whole thing is nice. The whole thing is nice, Charlie. I wish to be there. Now come observe it, but I fear the abrafo, Charlie. And you know another funny thing too ongoing is that today happens to be Champions League on the 18th. I mean, I made Rihanna say, Charlie, boys, you know, I saw one post, one post on X. Obika just said, "Nee Champions League." Lie. If like die me, I will come there. Now, some people have been exempted, you know. So the Ashanti Regional Minister has brought out, you know, an official notice to the general public indicating which people are going to be exempted. And let me read just a portion of it. The Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council, ARCC, in line with directive issued by the Menchia Palace and as part of the funeral and burial arrangement of the late Asante Hema, announces the following. Identification and uniforms. All essential government workers must wear their official service uniforms and carry valid identification cards. 2, use of official vehicles. As much as practicable, essential government workers should commute to and from their duty stations in official government vehicles. Number 3, compliance with movement restrictions. All exempted institutions and essential workers are advised to cooperate fully with security personnel and other regulatory agencies enforcing the movement restrictions. Signed by Honorable Dr. Frank Amwakohene, Ashanti Regional Minister. Bam. So some people have been exempted. So I'm sure the soldiers, you see the military, the police, other security personnel, they have been exempted. So this very night, this is the night that the Queen Mother will be buried. And that is why they've given signal out that wherever you are, irrespective of who you are, please don't come out from 9 p.m., somewhere around 9 p.m., till the following morning. You can resume your work. But from that time, no individual is to be seen outside. The chief executioner is waiting for you. You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. So this has been the observation from the final funeral rites of the late Queen Mother of the Ashanti Kingdom, Konadu Yiadom III, who also happens to be the biological sister of Otumfuo Osei-Tutu. Should any developing story come in, why not? I'll let you know. And if this is the first time you are seeing this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, like, and share for more content. My name is Fedorich, and I have been your Gong Gong Bita. Peace. I'm out.